Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. Yes, that's a lot of me repeating the same words. It's one of the reasons I like doing this at night. But I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Jack, my friend, how is your TGIF going so far?
So far it's okay, but eventually I'll have to go outside.
Just tell them you're quarantined.
Nobody buys it. I got too much going on too.
Yeah, the morning thing that's going on here, that's not intentional, guys. It's just been happening, and I'm not used to this time of day. Bearcock, thank you so much before the show began. You're on time again, Monkey. That was 14 minutes ago before I started the show. Oops. Oh, man. Thomas says, oh, good, finally showed up in my feed. Yeah, we've been having problems with that lately, guys. I don't know why. You'd have to talk to Susan. But especially with streams, YouTube, it's weird, Jack, because I saw a thing, I forget who it was the other day, talking about how YouTube is going more in the streamer direction.
Yeah.
And not just game streams or that kind of stuff, but like these kind of streams.
Mm-hmm.
But they're making it hard for people to find it.
Yeah, that makes me think they're not sure they want to do that. Like they were in that direction and then they kind of pulled back. That's how it looked to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing because we had this problem a month or so ago. But you know what also could be happening, Jack? They might be working behind the scenes again.
Yeah.
Because every time they work behind the scenes, stuff gets screwed up.
Oh, I saw some people on Twitter complaining that their YouTube was down. And I'm suspecting there was some sort of massive pause where they instituted some new algorithm thing.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to find out what. Because, yeah, it was down. Was it before the show yesterday? Around 5 p.m. Eastern time, I know it was down.
Wow.
They like the super chats. They don't like people finding where their super chats are coming from.
Something. Thanks for dropping links, Stargazer. Appreciate it.
Oh, and yes, Nuts. Thank you for that. Oh man, morning sucks. I've never been a morning person.
Me either. I like morning time, because I used to work overnights a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I like when the dawn breaks and you get that kind of it's slightly warmer and you get kind of that glow and the world is beautiful. But then people wake up and then they come outside and annoy you.
For me, it's never about the people. It's almost, Jack, you know how, well, I don't know if it is for you. Sundays just always feel like, oh God, it's Sunday. There's just a feeling to a Sunday.
Yeah.
There's just a feeling the morning, and I don't like it. Gamer Valine, thank you. Morning called the on-call engineer. They were at the bar day one. Oh. Wow. That's where the morning engineers at the bar.
Well, somebody's got to help businesses get back in shape.
Oh, man. So, Jack, I woke up to a lot of news. I will say this. You get a lot more news that you haven't read if you've gone to sleep for 8 hours before you do a show in the morning.
That's what they tell me, but sleep is weakness.
Literati, I think is how I say that. Just saying good day. Been an admirer for 4 years. That is very kind of you, and good day. Pincalo, thank you. Any other men wake up exhausted with a migraine?
All the time.
Me, no. I just woke up. Me. That's such a sad statement. I just woke up. Me.
Yeah, that's something to tell a psychiatrist about.
Right?
Man. That's not good.
It wasn't sad or anything. It was just me. Anyhow, so thank you so much for the donations, guys. I'm trying to do my producing stuff in the back here. And you know how that goes, right, Jack?
No, I don't do any of that producing crap either.
I need a producer, and so it doesn't go very well. I guess, I should start paying myself as a producer.
Yeah, you should definitely put that in your title list for sure.
Then if I ever have to go back to work again, what'd you do for those 5 years you didn't do anything? I was a producer. Oh, really? And then I wouldn't be able to work in any Hollywood shows because they don't use any,
Well,
production value.
you can ask for more money because you could give yourself as a reference.
Oh, indeed. I was my own boss.
Yeah.
No, but the first thing I found this morning, Jack, 5 things to know today that aren't about the virus. I was like, oh, please. I like news that's not about the virus because I'm a little sick of it. We're going to talk about the virus because we have to, Jack.
That's about all the news anymore.
Yeah.
That government overreach.
And you people at the YouTubes, we're allowed to talk about it. It's in your damn rules. Stop it. I don't like them. Anyway, so 5 things to know. Number 1. Maybe we should do these in reverse order. Number 5. Flavor of the week has a new meaning. A Hong Kong shop is offering tear gas flavored ice cream with the main ingredient black peppercorns, a vivid reminder of what demonstrators faced during pro-democracy protests last year.
Wow.
Illiterati, thank you. Want to know well you're doing with your physical pain. Oh, does that answer the question enough? Jack, did you watch Scribe stream yesterday?
No, I didn't have a chance.
Scribe. Did I just say Scribe?
Yes, you did.
Scribe was doing a stream.
I thought of fruit stripe gum right then, so I pictured his painting, but with colorful stripes.
Oh, God. Scribe was doing a stream with Blind Press, and they were going over this TEDx talk that a blind lady did. And she's a lady that's blind. I can't remember if she knows her personally, but she's interacted with her personally. And there's a difference there, guys. You meet somebody once, you can't say, "Oh, that's somebody I know." No, that's somebody you bumped into. But I can't remember the relation. Anyway, I learned something yesterday, Jack.
Oh yeah.
I am not using my crippleness right.
No, you ableist.
I need to be out there whining about it in front of large audiences so that I can get really fat contracts with people.
Yeah, duh.
Excuse me, I didn't think to use it that way. I was like, I didn't realize you can make that much money. I mean, I'm not blind, but still. You put an old man up there, I'm not even old, just tell, I'm only 45, look how I stand. And they'll be like, oh, give him money. Not you guys. I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me like that. But suckers out there in the real world, hell yeah.
Yeah, giant corporations.
Yeah.
They'll have you out there like the Elephant Man going, I am a human being.
And for me, it's not like, I mean, her whole thing was that all of society needs to be handicap accessible. All of it. Everything.
That's just not realistic.
It's really not. Cryptic, thank you. DC is creating a suicide musical starring Avicii, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, and Kurt Cobain.
Wow.
Well,
we're
going to ignore that. Thank you for the donation. But no, did you have something to say on the new Suicide Squad?
No, I had nothing to say to that whatsoever because we'll get in trouble. But with this handicap accessibility thing, does she want to retrofit all ancient buildings too? Historical monuments, that sort of thing?
She didn't get that into it. Illiterati, thank you so much. Ha, go mate. These chats cost me a cocktail. Well, I appreciate the cocktail. Does this mean he's buying me a drink?
I think so.
Cool. I'm not putting out though.
Yeah, you are. You're putting out content right now, mister.
That is true. No, she went more to the notion that for instance, ramps in front of buildings, that makes it easier for kids too. So she was trying to make the point that making things handicap accessible makes them easier for everybody.
Well, someone think of the children.
Now, I can't use ramps any more than I could really use stairs, Jack. Actually, ramps are worse because that is a slow walk up.
Yeah.
And by the time I get to the top, my legs are like, fuck you, dude. Why didn't you take the stairs? So I need elevators outside of every building. I need elevators and escalators outside of every building so that I am in no way ever inconvenienced, Jack.
Well, that seems to be what some of these activists want, is the whole world to kowtow specifically to them, not the people with their problem, but them specifically as an individual. The universe must bend to my whimsies.
Excuse me, sir, you have lots of old timers saying hi to you and you won't say hi back. What crap is that? I don't mind. I've only been here like 2.5 years. That was said to somebody I'm not going to recognize, or said by somebody I'm not going to recognize. I don't generally say hi to everybody in chat. Sorry.
Hi, chat.
Hi, everyone. I do it in a general sense, and I'm very sexist in the other ones that I do. I notice very certain. It's always females, Jack.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I can't help it. Richo says, I love you, mate. Love you back, sir. All right, so we have tear gas flavored ice cream to commemorate demonstrations last year for democracy.
That's something, I guess. That's a passive aggressive protest of sorts, because that's not been disallowed yet.
Who wants to even eat that shit?
I think it's more symbolic than anything else.
Yeah, but somebody still had to make it.
Yeah, but I get what they're doing, because there's only so many ways you can protest over there. So you got to come up with new and innovative things to stick your middle finger up to the government.
It's buy your favorite cop an ice cream day.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
It just seems a weird thing to me, guys. Try strawberry. I like saying it that way. I say strawberry, but anyway. NFL players accused of armed robbery. Man, it's hard out there when you can't go play ball.
That's rough when you're a millionaire.
Giants cornerback DeAndre Baker and Seahawks cornerback Quinton Dunbar pulled out guns and stole cash and other valuables at a party in South Florida.
Why? They're rich. I mean, aren't they millionaires?
I mean, not necessarily, but they're certainly at least 100,000-aires.
Yeah, well, they don't need the like $200 they probably got.
Gamer Valine, thank you. Yay, my new best friend Johnny Bonsacco is here. I've missed him so much. Love you, boo-boo. There you go.
Thanks, Yogi.
Love you, boo-boo.
Speaking of bears, real quick, thank you, Bearcock, on the Streamlabs. If all others are not Jack, do we call you Prime Jack or Supreme Jack?
Oh.
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't come up with a title, but I think I would just be Jack. But thank you, Bear.
Third stream players are only making $400K a year. Only $400K a year, Jack.
How are they living off of that? Those
see,
poor bastards.
Yeah, I didn't read the, let's see. Miramar police issued arrest warrants for both men Thursday on 4 counts each of armed robbery with a firearm. Baker faces an additional 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. The residential community is located between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Baker, 22, and Dunbar, 27, were attending a cookout at a Miramar home Wednesday night when a fight broke out and Baker pulled out a handgun, the warrant said. Baker, Dunbar, and 2 men began robbing other people at the party of thousands of dollars in cash, watches, and other valuables. Okay. Sky High Mike, thank you so much. Be respectful, please, chat. Oh. Thank you for the donation, but which kind of respectful do you mean? To whom? To whom should they be? Is
it women? Because that's probably not happening.
So Jack, a fight broke out and these guys pulled guns. I can see that part. Yo, back up off. And instead of just going, all right, we're gonna break out of here. You guys stay over there while we get in our car and leave. They're like, give me your money.
Well, we don't. It didn't specifically say how the fight started, did it? Because maybe these guys started the fight and then decided they're going to rob everybody.
No, you know, me like a clever ruse.
Yeah, like they saw somebody they had some kind of minor disagreement with, started roughing him up, and then just were like, all right, fuck it, we're robbing all these motherfuckers, not just this asshole.
Oh, dude, this gets better.
Oh, how could
I just scrolled down a little bit. And yeah, it did just say a fight broke out. It didn't say who started it. Police said the 4 men then fled in 3 vehicles. Ready for this?
Okay.
A Mercedes, a BMW, and a Lamborghini.
Yeah, nobody will see that one. It blends right in with all the Honda Civics on the road. Jesus, what idiots.
Oh, maybe they were having trouble with the quarantine making that Lamborghini payment.
Well, I don't think they got enough in this robbery to do that, even with thousands of dollars.
Oh my God. You can't separate dumb. That's all it is, You just, if this turns out to be true, you just threw away everything that made you be able to buy that Lamborghini. You're going to come out of prison in 5 years. This is armed robbery. That's not a joke, man. That's a serious felony. And even being an NFL player, the NFL's not going to be like, okay, come on, please go easy on them. I mean, like, fuck those guys.
They might have thought that's what would happen too. Because if these are like guys that are used to getting away with things and getting whatever they want, they might have thought they could pull this off and there would be no consequence.
You're for real?
Yeah, I'm with Karamon on this. You can't fix stupid.
You committed armed robbery at a barbecue.
Yeah, that's where everybody goes to take their valuables.
And where people know you. You were obviously invited to this thing. And then you drove away in your Lamborghini.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad for the one dude who probably didn't own a car because he was the 4th person to drive.
He was probably the getaway man.
Yeah.
Declan Butler, thank you so much. Cocktail, have a bottle. Thank you so very much. That's how I prefer to do it. I just keep a bottle next to me. It's medicine, though, you guys. It's medicine. Typhoon leaves extensive damage in the Philippines. This is story number 3 of the top 5 things the AP thinks you should know today, guys. Ferocious winds and rain left at least 1 dead and damaged hundreds of structures along with rice and cornfields. Not much more to say, except I hope except obviously one person died. I hope everybody else is safe.
Yeah, it sucks.
They have problems with that typhoon. God damn it.
Watch out, Scribe. The typhoon's coming.
Fuck you. Typhoons and shit like that down there in the Pacific, and you can pay me to live on an island in the Pacific. I'll take my chances in, Oklahoma with the tornadoes and flooding.
It's probably about the same amount of incidents happen every year.
Yeah, but don't they get less warning with typhoons and shit?
Oops. I think they have early warning systems for those.
That was a paper towel, you guys. For anybody, did Monkey just rip one on stream? I did. I ripped a paper towel. And Jack, talk for a second. I need to make noises they don't want to hear.
Oh, well, I predict that typhoons, which are typhoons full of old rotary phones that were thrown in the ocean, is going to be a growing problem because those cords wrap around everything. You told me to talk for a second. I didn't have anything to talk about.
Well, they do have that problem with the Garfield phones that kept washing up.
Yeah, from that container that sank.
Yeah, it took him a while to figure out where it was. Like, where are all these fucking Garfield phones coming from?
Oh, so they might be specifically Garfield typhoons.
You're still an asshole.
Yeah,
Next up.
At least they weren't the NFL phones that were like shaped like a football, because then they'd be super aerodynamic and like kill people.
Yeah, it'd be like a Sharknado.
Yeah. Sports Illustrated phones murdered 30 people today.
Now, I wonder with the Garfield phones, sorry to go back to that, were these ones that were actually lost when those things were popular?
Yeah, I think they were. I think they were on a container ship coming overseas and they sank. Because I remember those being in the stores. I'm pretty sure that happened around the same time. I may be wrong, but I think they were when they were popular.
Yeah, I always wanted the NFL phone because I'm an NFL aficionado. But I never got any of those. I just had the little plastic normal looking one. I didn't even get the see-through one, Jack.
Oh man, that's a see-through one?
Yeah, you could actually make those. You could buy a set and you could make a phone back in the day.
Oh, I remember those because some of them lit up.
Yeah. Not at my house, man. We just had that weird. What color was that? That brownish thing they went with.
It was almost a tan, but not quite.
Here's your human skin colored phone.
Yeah, it was this like weird flesh phone. I'm pretty sure it was like the cast-offs, like the silly putty cast-offs of phones, where they were like, "All right, that color didn't come out at all. We gotta sell this somehow. Let's give it to the phone company."
Yeah, it was. They were so. If you look at them, guys, they're really ugly.
Yeah, I have one in storage somewhere. I found.
They like on the road.
No, I found it when I was cleaning out a storage unit. And I was like, I'm keeping this. This might be useful someday.
Tall person, thank you so much. Happy National Safety Dose Day, everybody. This is every day. Happy National Safety Dose Day every day. Please don't OD, monkey. I have not. I'm right on schedule with my medicines, guys. That was the one good thing about waking up early. It's like, I know I have not taken my medicine yet.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Here's the money I stole from a homeless guy down the street. He's a vet in a wheelchair, but I'm pretty sure he's rolling in dough. Thank you, Cryptic.
Guys, don't forget we are brought to you by you. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button. Please share. Sharing is caring. This isn't herpes, you guys. This is more like fellatio. Go share. And please, if you can, toss a dime in the hat for Jack or myself. The lovely Stargazer Nuts has been kind enough to be dropping those Streamlabs links, so you guys can do that. You ready for number 2 on our list of things the AP thinks is important? That's not coronavirus.
I'm afraid to ask, but okay.
It's dereliction of duty. Joe Biden says that if he wins the presidency, he would not use his power to pardon Donald Trump or stop any investigation of Trump and his associates.
If Biden was elected, he wouldn't have enough wherewithal and comprehension to do anything about anything. He's got dementia. It's pretty obvious.
I don't believe for a minute Joe Biden remembered the word dereliction.
He may have seen it on a word-a-day calendar.
Let's see the actual story. Democratic candidate Joe Biden said that if he wins the presidency, he would not use his power. Yeah, that's what you said. It is not something the president is entitled to do, to direct prosecution or decide to drop a case. It's a dereliction of duty, he said on MSNBC Thursday. Oh, I see what he's doing. Did you catch what he said there?
Did he mean duty as in poop?
He might have. It is Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I made a poopy. It's not something pardoning is absolutely something the president can do. It's actually in his job.
That is a hate fact. That's a power restricted for Democrats only.
Now, he is right that the president's not entitled to direct a prosecution. Obama, we need to once again remember the the FBI issued a memo on January 4th saying there was no reason to keep the case open against Flynn. January 5th, Obama's chief of staff finds out who it was talking to the Russian, which, by the way, had been known for a while. Had already been known for a while. And suddenly, that case stays open.
Yeah.
And we know Obama had direct conversations, at least if you believe Sally Yates, with Sally and James Comey, specifically about investigating Flynn.
Jesus.
Officer Buck Tud Russell, thank you so much. The older I get, the more depressed a lone pizza eaten at around 10 a.m. makes me. I'm in Australia. Don't be depressed by that. You know what? Is there any food you eat that depresses you, Jack? Because you're alone?
Brussels sprouts, because there's just sad food to begin with. No, pizza should make you happy because it's pizza and it's delicious. Never be sad with pizza. And you really can't do that with ice cream either because, I mean, it's ice cream. It's supposed to make you feel better. Don't be sad. Be happy because even if you're alone, that means you're not with an annoying person.
The only time I get even a little sad by something like that is when I realize I've eaten an entire family size by myself. Like, that probably wasn't in my best interest.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for our number one story of the day, according to the AP, that is not Corona related?
Let me grab a Streamlabs real quick.
Please do.
Thank you, tall person. No matter how bad things get, there's always tomorrow and hope. You have people that care about you and people that respect you and people that do both. Have a wonderful day. Did I donate to Jack correctly? Yeah, you donated, so that's done correctly. I think you're supposed to make me sad based on what everybody else does, but thank you very much anyway.
And that is very kind of what he said there. And it's also very true, Jack.
It is.
I meant specifically towards you. I think I want to show you the picture of this article first, Jack.
I don't know if I want to see a picture of this article. It sounds dumb already.
This is the picture they put at the top of the article. Right there.
Oh, no, that's that meme where the dude's looking back. See the guy in the background's checking out the old lady?
Uh-huh.
Is that what that is? Is that what I'm looking at?
Nope.
Oh.
I do love her Karen hair, though.
Yeah, she's got old lady Karen hair, so she's going to be even meaner.
Except it's not about her at all. Exactly. Number one, who's key to Trump's reelection? The president's advisors are concerned about a drop in support among seniors, a group vital to his hopes of winning a second term this November. I feel like this is kind of Corona related.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Corona is really throwing a wrench in everything these days.
Well, even more so, who's most affected? Who's dying the most? Old people.
Oh, I was going with women. They're most affected by everything.
No, I meant in reality.
Oh, in reality, yeah, old people. Old
there's a bunch of them. Yeah, they're all dying. Yeah, exactly. Old men, which is one of Trump's biggest support groups. And what is it? Several dozen thousands of them have died off. But of course, his numbers are going to go down with them. There's less of them. President Trump's path to re-election runs through places like Sun City Center, a former cow pasture south of Tampa, Florida, that's now a home to a booming retirement community.
It makes them sound like they put old people out to graze.
They literally put them out to pasture.
That's awful. That sounds horrific.
You can't do that to old people.
No, old people are awesome. They just want to be left alone. They want you to get off their lawn. That's all the things I want.
But some residents of this conservative swath of America's premier battleground are growing restless. Irving Hiltz is among them. The 72-year-old retiree voted for Trump in 2016, but has grown frustrated with the tumult surrounding his administration. His support for Trump collapsed early amid the coronavirus pandemic, which Hilt blames the president for mishandling. I don't think Donald Trump is doing it very good at all, Hilt says. Changes his mind too often. leaving too much up to states when the federal government should be handling more of it. Wow, it's almost like he watches CNN.
Yeah. And I like how even in an article supposed to be not about COVID, they bring COVID into it.
Well, you know they were going to.
Yeah, it's just irritating.
I told you it was COVID related, and I hadn't even read the article yet.
It always is. These people are so lazy. So one-track minded, too.
As far as I can see, they maybe have 3 or 4 people they quoted in this, so it's a whole bunch of old people, all 3 or 4 of them. All right. Now, I didn't promise we weren't talking about Corona, so we'll have to do that a little bit. Before we get to what the AAA folks call the titular article, which is just fun to say because it sounds like you're talking about titties.
True.
Oh, by the way, guys, I saw boobs this morning.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, Lady Monkey, I went in to grab my socks, and she's laying clothes out on the bed, and then usually that's her getting dressed. And instead, she starts walking out of the room. I'm like, where are you going? She goes, I'm going to shower. I'm like, wait, are you naked under that robe? And she said, yeah. I'm like, well, excuse me, I need to see that. She was just going to walk out without showing me, Jack.
Oh, it's awful.
I know. I show her my junk all the time, even when she doesn't ask, even when she tells me to put it away.
Well, that just means that she doesn't want to see it right now, or more likely, she's just saying that to be coy.
Sometimes it feels hurtful.
Of course, but you can't take it personally. She's got to say that for appearance's sake.
Oh, Dom, what's that? Cracked ribs and a pulled back, but yeah, not bad. What the hell happened, Dom? Is that you? Okay, I'm not reading all of chat, guys. Sorry, I haven't gotten to where I'm bugging you guys yet. But if that happened to you, dude, I hope you're healing.
Yeah, that sucks.
Should we get on with the little Corona news?
Sure.
Governor Cuomo nursing homes mass testing edict leaves labs unable to comply.
Shocker.
I'm fucking dying. I love coming into this show in the middle of it. You literally can be talking about anything. You're not wrong. And Shady Grin, thank you. Good morning. What are the fools at the ACLU doing? They are suing Betsy DeVos, and we will get to that in just a little bit. We really will. Oh, look, Scribe's here.
He's not wrong either.
Careful of those typhoons. You've missed a couple of doozies, including me fucking up your name, my friend. I apologize for that. Oh, man. Okay. Just make sure my production abilities are taken care of. Yes, I actually called you Scribe. My bad. Albany, the state's top coronavirus test lab, is so overwhelmed by the mandated coronavirus testing in nursing homes that they've told counties to stop sending them shipments. They're weeks behind, Jack, weeks behind. And they're worried that the swabs that are being sent like right now, by the time they get to them, won't be viable anymore.
Yeah, probably.
And this comes, facilities are required to submit a plan to the state by Friday, May 15th, and non-compliance will be met with license suspension, revocation, or a $2,000 penalty per day.
Oof.
So these nursing homes that are like, we have to do this, and they're like, yep, this is what they're facing if they don't. Meanwhile, the testing facilities are going, we can't handle this. Now, the testing facility they're talking about is specifically one that does them for free.
Oh.
The testing facility themselves said that they could contract the work out to other labs. This testing facility has a couple hundred people, Jack. The big the commercial labs have like thousands of people working for them.
Yeah.
But it would cost about $100 per test to get the rest of the test taken care of.
Well, if the state wants to pay for it, let Cuomo come up with some money out of his budget. Maybe he could take a pay cut.
Which is worse, $100 per test or $2,000 per day?
Yeah, well, obviously, Cuomo wants to try and shift the blame away from the fact that didn't he send old people that were tested positive back to the nursing homes to reinfect others?
Now, Jack, yes, he did, but that's a hate fact.
Yeah, well, I think he's trying to mitigate some lawsuit stuff here or something. This seems really shady to me.
RVA Dar says, "Good morning, monkey. Hi, Scribe. Hello. Hope you're well."
Now I'm picturing an evil supervillain from China that tried to capture spy Scribe. And he's like, Scribe, right? I see you have fallen into my dastardly trap.
Scribe, like, yeah, I can't do
it either, but I thought it was funny.
It was well done, and actually, you did it quite well. How dare you?
I just pictured Scribe going, "You'll never get away with this, you monster." He's got a cane with a diamond on it that doubles as a laser. It'd be sweet. Sorry, I got off track with the random thoughts.
No, you are fine. And I want to share this screen for this next. This isn't so much a story. I read a CNN article that said, 24 states have a downward trend on new COVID cases. 17 have a flat, they've flattened the curve, you guys. And then 9 more are on an upswing. And this is the list of the states and where they are. This is a tracking, I believe it's a 5-day average or some stupid shit like that, 5-day number. So you have like this one here. This is Alabama. You see it goes up just a tiny bit. I wonder if I can make that bigger to where people can see it better. There we go. They go up just a little bit right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That counts as going up. Where they had been going up and up and up, and then there's a drop for quite a while. Remember, though, this is only a 12-day time period.
Wow.
Yeah. Alaska's going down. Arizona. Most of them are actually holding steady. Now, Arkansas, that is clearly up. Most of the others, though, are down. Idaho is kind of on a roller coaster. They're going up and down, up and down. But going through and counting the ones that say they're up, I mean, like right here, Michigan counts as an up, even though it's drop, and then just a little bounce at the end. Like, you guys are just trying to scare the shit out of people. You're just trying to play this up because some states are going up. Because everybody's, a big question that's coming around, Jack? What happened to flatten the curve?
We've moved past that. Now we need a cure. Take up a cure, not a treatment. A cure.
Yes.
So we don't ever have to surrender our power.
Now, I know those of you who've been listening to the show for a while have heard us talking about the flatten the curve thing for a while, but it's catching on and we're happy it is because, yeah, that's what it was. We have to flatten the curve so that we can get back to normal.
Yeah, it started out at 2 weeks and now it's been a couple months and soon it'll be August.
Yeah. And by any measure, we've flattened the curve in most places.
Yeah, Silverman's right. Now it's about the second wave. We're going to have to shut down again. It's all about that second wave. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Chicago Mike, who says, I need more coffee. Well, thank you for the donation. I hope you get some good coffee. Yeah.
I don't like it myself, but if you enjoy it, I hope you have a wonderful cup of coffee. Silverman says they're pumping out buzzwords. They are, but the flatten the curve thing, Jack, at least it made sense. The whole thing was to keep from overloading hospitals.
Yeah.
We didn't want to overload hospitals because that's how people die. Then they get sent home or to nursing homes to be sick. I also saw a study, 44% of nursing home patients have this. In Florida, I think it was. Yeah, wow. I think it was a Florida case. But the way they're doing the numbers is funky. It's like 20%, 22%. Here's the thing. You put a bunch of old people who are highly susceptible to this disease in a small building together. What the fuck do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, old people are susceptible to a lot of diseases, including the regular flu.
Yeah.
So you throw this super flu type disease in, and it's a virus. Your immune system goes down as you age. Same with people that are getting cancer treatments or have the HIV or various other diseases. or autoimmune system issues, you're going to have a population that's highly vulnerable. So yes, they're going to be vulnerable. They are going to get it. You got to be careful. So I understand separating them out and telling them to stay at home, but you can't put everyone under house arrest.
I have a solution, Jack. We need old people Darth Vader suits.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Cyber age elderly. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. Jerry Borgs.
And we can decide what the masks look like so we don't have to look at their old wrinkly faces.
Yeah. Oh,
boomers.
Right.
I'm getting an old wrinkly face. I just want to look like Darth Vader. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Coffee is better than Diet Coke. Maybe, but it's not better than Diet Pepsi. Before we get on to our main article, the titular article, this one comes from The Guardian, and it's actually from the 13th. So what are we, 2 days old? 2 days old. This was written Wednesday. Wait. What day is today?
Today's Friday, I believe.
Sorry, this is a month old. Because this says Monday. Like, wait, that's not a Monday. Monday, April 13th. The Karen meme is everywhere, and it has become mired in sexism. I'm not really going to read this article. I'll throw it into chat if anybody wants to read it themselves. It's stupid. Countless TikTok videos are dedicated to the Karen meme. What was once a way of describing women's behavior is now too often about controlling it, Jack.
Oh, God. Before we get any deeper into this bullshit, thank you, Cryptic. He said load.
Oh, speaking of load, did you see Nancy Pelosi?
Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Smooth face Pelosi? Yeah. Horrific.
Look at this. Okay. Thank you, Asian hippie. I'm 60 and I still look good. Good for you.
Well, you're Asian. Asian people don't age like normals.
Yeah.
You're like a superior race of people being all sexy and shit. Thank you, RVA Dar. My last $3 just to say I am not afraid, and this is bull. Keeping us all locked up is killing more people than the Chan. I agree. Thanks, man.
Okay, sorry about that. We're not actually going to listen to what Nancy says. We're just going to look at her face, Jack.
We have to.
Look at this. Look at how creamy she looks. And what the hell are these black things right here on each of her eyes? She looks like she was in a bukkake scene.
Yeah, she does. She looks like an Auton from Doctor Who, which are these plastic people that look like mannequins. And those black things, I think, are the pits from of Shadow, from where she had a facelift or Botox or something, because her eyebrows look unnaturally high up.
Yeah, they are. But look at how freaking shiny she is. That is disturbing.
Yeah, Dangerous said they look like an extra set of eyebrows. Let's call them backup brows.
She's had her face pulled back so much that's actually her pubic hair.
Yeah, everything about her face looks artificial.
Satsu Shelley says she accidentally put on her nighttime moisturizer in the morning. I feel like somebody else put some nighttime moisturizer on her.
How could anyone do that? I mean, like, even if you have an old people fetish, how are you finishing that?
Well, look, Elizabeth Warren likes to have a beer with her husband. Nancy likes to let her husband blow a load on her face.
Gross.
I think it's sweet as old as they are.
I don't think there's enough drugs in the world for that.
That's gonna get me in trouble. I didn't check off sexual topics today. I gotta be good.
That's not sexual. That's some sort of pity function.
John Miller, thank you. That's a face only a plastic surgeon could love to work on over and over again, and he has. Chicago Mike, thank you. How many plastic surgeries did she have? I don't think any of us know, but several. And Officer Buck, thank you. It's from all the preservatives from the ice cream. Look, as much as she's paying for that shit, that there should be no preservatives in it.
Well, Assassin brings up a good point. Her face was bought and paid for by the American taxpayer. That's where your money's going, guys.
That's not wrong, actually. I mean, technically. Skeletor trying to look young. Thank you so much, RVA Dar. You're not wrong.
I'll get you, He-Man. I mean, we need to pass the stimulus bill.
She looks like somebody blew a load on her face.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yes, Asian hippie. She looks like somebody from the plastic surgeon of L.A. from Escape from L.A. Plastic surgeon of Beverly Hills. My bad.
It's just bothersome. I think Sinatra's the one that I saw who had tweeted that out today, and like, oh, because my first thought went to disgusting porn, of course.
Yeah.
That's who I am, Jack.
Well, Dangerous pointed out that this could be paid for by dark money, which means her face may have been made in China, so that sheen could be lead.
Fair enough. Gamer Valine, thank you. At their age, even you said it would be a matte finish.
Right? They're blowing dust.
If it is the dark money, even then, I mean, still technically that came from the American taxpayer because she's able to get that because of her job.
Do you think she's using the Korean foreskin cream?
I think she's using the somebody's foreskin cream.
I want to thank No One Nowhere for reminding us of foreskin cream. Since I had to read it, I had to tell it to you.
It looks like somebody's foreskin cream is all over her face.
Oh, that's gross. So gross. Do you think you see that sort of thing on facialabuse.com? That's facialabuse.com. Give me a sponsorship.
Oh my God. All right, let's see. Next up, the titular article, Jack. This one actually annoys me. Wait, where did it go? There it is. It jumped forward on me. It changed the freaking Yahoo. You suck. This is why I don't read Yahoo News anymore.
Yeah. There's a bunch of lefties.
Well, it used to be my go-to source. I'd just go there in the morning. It's kind of like Twitter because they had a wide range of different stories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then they became like communist sympathizers.
Yeah. ACLU sues Betty DeVos over new campus sexual assault rules. Dun, dun, dun.
Due process. We can't have any of that now.
I am not the biggest fan of the ACLU.
Not anymore.
But they used to always stick up for free speech, which, by the way, Jack, they've come out and said publicly it's not really what they're about anymore.
Yeah. Now they're about an agenda.
These are the guys who stood up for the Klan because the Klan had a right to assemble. It's not because they liked the Klan. And it was a little Jewish dude who helped do that. These are the guys who would stick up for the rule of the Constitution. And yes, there was other stuff that they got wrong. But, you know, to me, that's a big thing. And then they actually came out and said, yeah, we're not so much about that. We think we probably made a mistake. We need to stop. We need to start fighting more on like stopping hate speech.
Ugh.
Yeah, we read that story on Lords of the Night, and I about cried because it's like, are you kidding?
It's amazing how a group calling itself the American Civil Liberties Union doesn't fight for civil liberties anymore.
And there's no better case to prove that than this right here.
Yeah.
Education Secretary Betsy DeVos' revised federal guidelines on how sexual assault allegations should be handled on college and K through 12 campuses are the target of a federal lawsuit filed Thursday, claiming that the change would, quote, inflict significant harm, unquote, on victims and, quote, dramatically undermine their civil rights. No, it doesn't. Not in any way. The suit, filed on behalf of 4 advocacy groups for the people who have been sexually assaulted, including Know Your 9 and Girls for Gender Equality, is the first that seeks to block the Education Department new provisions before they go into effect August 14th. The rules championed by DeVos effectively bolster the rights of due process. Did you catch that, Jack?
Yeah.
Bolster the rights, anyway, of due process for those accused of sexual assault and harassment, allowing for live hearings and cross-examination. It's what agency officials say was lacking during the Obama administration to protect all students under Title IX, a 1972 law that prohibits gender discrimination, including sexual assault at schools. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I read the original text of Title IX. Did it say fuck all about sexual assault? I'm fairly certain it didn't.
No, I think that was more about like having girls' teams if there's a boys' team, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it was
That's
about
what it started with, anyway.
Yeah, that's what Title IX was. It was to make sure that women in schools, girls in schools, had the same opportunities that boys did.
Yeah, and
It wasn't until the Obama administration that they turned it into, oh, it's also about sexual assault.
It's not just about sexual assault. It's about believing all women.
Indeed. Because until Betsy DeVos's new rules came in, the guys accused of this shit were not allowed to face their accuser. And believe me, not believe me, remember, this doesn't go into effect until this coming August.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to face their accuser. And basically, if you were accused, you were screwed. Under the Obama era rules, if you were accused, you were screwed. How many times did we see it? Some poor guy's life ruined over this shit.
Well, yeah, look at the Duke lacrosse team that were accused by the stripper or whatever. Turns out they didn't do anything at all.
The mattress girl. How many of these fucking ones have we seen?
Oh, dozens easily. People that regretted doing stuff that came out and said, I regret, they had regret sex and suddenly it turns into rape, or both people were bungling drunk and instantly that makes the guy a rapist. This is an inquisition. It's the mattress girl thing, especially really pissed me off because she got a career out of that for quite a while.
Cryptic, thank you. Joe Biden said he'll revert it to Obama rules if elected day one. Yes, he did. This federal effort to weaken Title IX makes it more difficult for victims of sexual harassment or sexual assault to continue their education and needlessly comes amid a global pandemic. They have been working on this for years, Jack. It's not like they just... Anyway. According to the suit, which was filed in U.S. District Court in Maryland by the American Civil Liberties Union and the New York-based law firm Stroke, it's two O's. How would you say that? Stroke?
Sure.
Stroke and Levon, LLP. The suit names DeVos, the Education Department, and Kenneth Marcus, the agency's Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights. The department did not immediately respond to a request for comment. DeVos last week denied that the final rule would discourage accusers from coming forward to report abuse, saying that it instead allows for schools to be more balanced in how they review claims rather than through what she called a kangaroo court approach, which is what it was.
Absolutely. And that's why they don't like her, because those evil penis havers are going to get a chance to defend themselves against false accusations.
We can continue to combat sexual misconduct without abandoning our core values of fairness, presumption of innocence, and due process, DeVos told reporters. Yeah, those civil liberties we have. Fucking ACLU.
Anyway. Evil men, especially white men. Jeez, monkey.
The suit also argues that schools under the final rule will willfully ignore certain sexual assault complaints, alleging incidents that might occur off campus, because it's not their business, or during study abroad programs, and can use a higher standard of proof to determine whether an accused student violated a code of conduct policy. According to the suit, that would place a heavier burden on those alleging sexual harassment than on students who allege other forms of harassment.
Bullshit.
It would put them actually right in line.
Yeah. This is so irritating. Real quick, thank you, Satsu, 2 cents. I was going to give this money to a homeless shelter, but they don't need to eat. Well, thank you very much.
I've had problems with the Obama era Title IX things for a long time. First of all, that's not what college is for. They basically run a court that's not a legal court. You know what the accusers could do? Go to the police.
Yeah, that's what they should do. If somebody sexually harassed you or assaulted you, go to the cops, go to the hospital, get the kit done. It's embarrassing and it's very unpleasant, but do it, because if they did it to you, they'll do it to someone else, and you want the pervert to get thrown in jail. So you have to go through the proper system.
And remember, most of this came about because of Rolling Stone's bullshit article. There was pushes and moves towards it, but that Rolling Stone article, that's the one that really came out and like, we've got to do something. Where this woman alleges she went to a frat party and got raped, and it turned out to be entirely fictional.
Is that the one with the 4 dudes banged her in a bathroom or something?
Something like that. Jackie was her name, is all I remember about the specifics. That it was full of shit. And then when that story first broke, colleges all over the place, fraternities, we're going to look into them because they're bad. It turned out she was a lying whore.
Yeah.
I don't mean she slept around. I just mean, she's a bad woman. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to call them whores, am I? She's a lying dickhead.
She's a lady for hire?
She's a disgusting piece of shit human being who used these rules that were already being pushed in to try to destroy somebody to get fame. Women don't do that. People do that. People are bad. And yes, women are people, and they have a almost a unique way of using sexual assault, Jack. Because men can't do that. Men don't get that kind of attention.
Oh, no. Male rape victims are treated very, very poorly.
Yeah, like, why didn't you stop it? Look what happened to Terry Crews when he came out.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you punch him? And look, I'm with those people. If I was Terry Crews and somebody, I'd beat the fuck out of him. But Terry Crews was also trying to get a job. And Terry Crews knows how it looks when you're like, yeah, somebody sexually assaulted me. Because we do look at it like that for men.
Yeah.
You should have stopped it. Women can't stop it. They are strong, powerful, and equal, but they cannot stop it. Silverman, thank you. Death to academia. Iranian accent. I can't do Iranian accent.
I can't do one either.
You got my best there. I'm sorry. But thank you for the donation. No, I want to see academia return to being schools, to be places of learning. And I realize that that's still the majority of it. But you do have this bullshit that came up with them expanding the meaning of Title IX to make colleges basically have to be courtrooms.
Fake courtrooms.
Yes. One-sided courtrooms. What was the case of that guy who got in trouble because he hit a woman? But it was his girl. It was he hit her, right? But they were playing around, and she's even like, no, he didn't beat me. And he still ended up like getting kicked out of school.
I remember.
It's still to help women's and fuck men. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I remember hearing about that. And did he get rejected from some other universities that he tried to get into because of that?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of, well, I don't know that specific story. There's a lot of those stories. There's a ton of them out there where a woman lied about some guy and it ruined his fucking life. Can't accuse me of sexual assault from an online course. Silverman, don't challenge him.
Yeah, they'll find a way.
Remember, words are violence.
Yeah, and because you're a man or identify as a man or perceived as a man, then you're capable of like the evil male rapey gaze or something.
Krampus says it was a USC kicker monkey got kicked off the team. Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened too often.
Yeah. You might not think that's a big deal. He just got kicked off the team. Yeah, that could impact literally his entire career.
Yeah, scholarship, future job potential.
Millions of dollars potentially.
Yeah, this will haunt people for their entire lives. So I don't understand why they treat this so frivolously and why they think they could set up courts for this. I understand they don't want to get sued, but there has to be a much more reasonably fair way of doing things.
Shroom says, I had the cops called on me because of a bruise on my wife's chin. It was a hickey from the night before.
Jesus.
How dare you? You put your lips on her? No, I don't want to be like, oh, you ruined his career. If he's guilty, fine, but that's not what colleges are for.
No, now if a kid is convicted, yeah, then throw him off campus. But you could just have her get a restraining order on him or something like that. But there has to be police reports. There has to be due process for both sides. People lie, and I don't understand this attitude that women are somehow these mystical creatures that are on pedestals because they never lie. They only ever tell the truth and nothing but the truth. It's really sick discrimination.
I can explain it. Nobody wants to look at somebody who says, I was raped, and go, you're a lying whore. It's not a good feeling. Unless you know for a fact that she is a lying whore. But even then, you don't want to do it because everybody's going to be like, why are you so mean to her?
Yeah. You're picking on a woman.
Yeah. The strong, powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing, fragile as fuck woman.
Yeah. She's young. She's probably attractive.
Do you know what this... One, you are making light of actual rape. You are making it harder for actual rapists to be believed because you come out there with this bullshit story and then a real story comes up and people, well, remember that bitch who lied? Bitches lie. You are hurting the actual victims. Second, you are hurting women as a whole because you are presenting yourself as such a fragile cunt. In a lot of these cases, Jack, it's not even like rape. It's like we had sex and then I decided later I didn't like it.
What did I just walk in on?
Having sex and not liking it later.
Oh.
We're discussing Title IX.
Oh, no.
The ACLU has sued Betsy DeVos over her new rules.
Because she wants to give people accused more opportunities to defend themselves?
Because she gives the guilty more opportunity to defend themselves.
Sorry. The reflects the Brett Kavanaughs of the world.
Yes, those evil men.
Yeah. Well, I have a bit of a personal experience in this realm because I was accused of something I didn't do in college and almost got fucked over for it. I had to fight City Hall just to get my reputation back. It was not fun, and I wasn't given any support by the school. They just sort of immediately decided that because the accusation was there, that was enough for them, and I was on academic probation, even though it was complete bullshit, and I eventually had to get literally signed witness statements to give to the dean of students to back up, especially since the accusation against me involved a friend of mine. Like the primary quote-unquote victim of my activities was a friend of mine. And then I brought a signed statement from that friend that said, this is absolute nonsense. And I'll testify to that in court if I had to. Except it wasn't court, it was just the college. And I don't know if many people, I think everybody at one time or another in their life has been accused of something they haven't done.
Yep.
Okay. It is, and it sucks, but it is something else when the accusation is something that you cannot fight against. The consequences are already aligned against you without any opportunity to defend yourself, and you're punished without trial. And that's what happens in colleges.
Yep.
That's what happens in colleges. Now, I quote unquote lucked out in the sense that it happened in the era in which it did before all this nonsense, because I probably would have been expelled lickety-split. I was just put on quote-unquote academic probation. So you better not misbehave again or then you're going to be expelled. I'm like, so I've got this Damocles sword hanging over my head for something I didn't do in the first place. And all it's going to take is for somebody else to say something that I didn't do. And then I'm done. That's the Kafka trap I was in for 6 months or something until I could finally get it squared away. So anything, I don't know much about Betsy DeVos or whatever else, but anything that at least gives the accused, and I can't believe I'm having to say this in fucking America, but gives the accused the opportunity to be thought of as innocent till proven guilty, especially when it comes to your academia. Oh. Good Christ. I don't understand why this is such an alien concept to people.
Scribe, you missed the best part of this.
You called him Scribe again.
I know.
Scribe.
I did that on purpose.
Scribe. What the fuck is a scribe? Is
By
that
the
is
way-
that like is that like my own personal community of like people in like huts or something? It's like this is the Scribe.
It's the
You finally
Scribes.
made it in chat. I've mispronounced your name.
It's the Scribes tribe. See, the Scribe tribe is the followers of Scribe.
To say those are the people that live around my moon base.
Oh, the
It's
Scribe.
the Scribe. Yeah, the little lunar colony. That's the Scribe.
Somebody earlier called you Stribbles, and I about lost it.
Stribbles.
It's Stribbles.
Mm-hmm.
The best part of this Scribe is that they actually argue. The ACLU is arguing that by putting these rules in place, you are harming the due process rights of the victim.
That's not how it works. The ACLU has done a lot of good things in its history. It really has. But to say that then the accused is guilty, that the victim, I mean, you've already determined that they're a victim without due process.
Mm-hmm.
This is the other thing about due process that they seem to forget every time. An accusation does not automatically make the accuser a victim. The victimhood as well has to be proven alongside the guilt of the alleged party or the alleged offender. I mean, it's not just a one-way street. Like, was a crime committed? Is there an offender? Is there a victim? That's what the process is for. An accusation is just that. It's up in the air, right? It's saying I accuse Mr. Body of killing Miss Scarlet in the conservatory with the candlestick. Okay, until you open up that envelope, both sides are on equal footing. It's just an accusation and a guy standing there. That's it.
Jeremiah says, real quick, he just retracted and said that the guilty and accused should be treated equally. Kind of, but we do have in this country the idea that you are innocent until proven guilty.
Right. No.
But
You
not
guys
in
are getting it wrong. There's precedent for this. If someone comes out and says you're a witch until you prove otherwise.
Well, but that's just the thing, is that the burden has to be on the accuser, aka the state, because it is so easy to abuse. 9 times out of 10, if you have the state coming after an individual accused of a crime, how could they possibly defend themselves against public opinion, the mechanisms of justice, quote unquote? That's why we have to give so much weight and put the burden on the accuser, which is the state, not necessarily the victim. This is the thing that they don't get. It's like, okay, the victim has to be vetted as well, or the accuser has to be vetted as well. But it is up to the state acting as a buffer between a vigilante type of justice and a civilized type of justice.
No, that we've already know that they have the devil's mark. It hangs between their legs like his tail, and women identifying persons cannot possibly lie about these things because they are the holiest of the holies, says the Women's Studies Department. So
I'm a little sensitive to this particular subject in this particular context. What can I tell you? Yeah.
Because any guy that has ever gone through any kind of accusation for something they didn't do knows exactly what you're talking about. And there are a growing number of them who are accused of the most frivolous things, all the way up to serious offenses. But anymore, just like asking a girl out is enough to get you booted out of a class or school in general, and because it's considered harassment if they didn't want it. So all their little terms and everything have become crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not getting any better. They're getting more vitriolic about these sort of things.
Cryptic, thank you. The state have endless resources compared to us.
Yes.
Well, here's the problem in all of this. Here's the problem. Because you're right, Scribe. The burden should be on the state. But the state's not involved.
No,
this is just at the college.
Right. I was about to say the difference in my case and in so many others, the college has absolutely nothing to worry about except their own liability. They can take any action they want, and they're not up for review. There's no appeals process against the college saying, we're going to expel you, without a long, long civil lawsuit with a whole bunch of things. And again, how am I going to go up against a college? The college is like a mini state. It's its own little country. They have their own rules. They have their own police, the whole 9 yards. But they're not held to account, and they do not operate under the same constrictions as the actual state. And so a college student, myself, having a completely false accusation levied at me, them going through the ridiculous process of notification of this accusation, which doesn't get to me until 3 months after the fact when they decided to have a quote-unquote trial in my absentia without me knowing, and decided I'm on academic probation without an opportunity to actually defend myself or say anything else. And then I have to come in after the fact against somebody who's already decided that I'm guilty. And then they decide, well, that's it. Thank you for your statement. We're done. And I'm like, no. What's the next step? Like, there's no next step. Like that makes no sense. Who do I go from here? And the person said, I remember I called him up and I said, well, there's got to be something else to do here. And he's like, well, I guess you could talk to the dean of students. I'm like, okay, well, make me an appointment with the dean of students. He's like, okay. And then it was another 3 months of talking to this guy and explaining to him like this. And he says, okay, well, look, you need to get me as many testimonies as you can from the people involved in this. I'll be gone for a couple of weeks on a conference. I'll come back. It's like, okay. And I mean, thank goodness that the people involved directly in this accusation, the people who were said to have been victims in this, were the first to hear about this from me. Right? I mean, they didn't even do any investigation. They took someone's statement carte blanche and did not actually ask the people named in the statement as to who the quote unquote victims were of my inappropriate behavior. It was amazing to me. And yet, if I had done nothing, nothing would have happened to the college. They wouldn't have been held up for review. The people who were held as victims who weren't wouldn't have had any recourse for being used like that. Nothing. And that is the problem. That is what the big deal is about. Why you have to give at least the same kind of due process weight to a college trying to destroy someone's life, perhaps unfairly, that they don't actually have to deal with right now because they're like their own little country.
You know what they should have done? What they should have done is if these cases come to them, they should be required to report them to the police, and that should be the end of it.
Yeah, if it constitutes a crime, if in any other circumstance, I mean, if a crime occurs in your own little country, okay, well, you refer that to the nearest authority, and you allow them to investigate it because that's what it is. Why they keep it secret? It's the whole PR thing. Right? We don't want it getting out that there's a rash of rapes on our campus or something else. So we'll handle it privately and internally, and we'll deal with it, and that'll be it. And
you also have the lies that have been told about, oh my God, look how much rape is happening on campuses. Right.
Yes. One in 4 women are like raped. Like, what?
I've seen it as low as 1 in 3.
Oh, yeah. Worse than the most terrible situation in the most
worse than the Congo.
Yeah, it's like
look,
where they have rape gangs.
The more they redefine what the crime is and lower the standard on
that too. Yeah.
Then the stats go up. They get a pad it that way. They run a lot of these universities like North Korea runs things. So it's that same kind of tin pot dictator.
Yeah. But there's no oversight, and that's the thing is that this is allowed to happen because when it comes to quote unquote prosecuting crimes on campus, there's no real oversight. There's nothing checking on the colleges when handling these things. So if crimes occur on the campus, they have to be referred to the police. You can't refer them to the campus police. The campus police are like this paramilitary organization that has no oversight from the state. You turn these colleges into little nations and you don't give them any oversight, they will act like little tin pot nations.
Yep.
Remember, most universities have their own police departments. Students don't even need to go to municipalities to report a crime. Well, here's the thing. When they report it to the college, because that's what's been happening, you have these people who come out and the ladies, they'll go, and sometimes it's not even them, by the way. Sometimes it's a second or third party. Like, no, I think she was raped. And she's like, I wasn't. I'm too bad. Rape was said.
Yeah.
Right. They go and they report it to the college because if you're going to bullshit, that's the way to go. Because you don't have to prove fuck all. Nothing.
But here's the other thing too, is that if there is an honest accusation or something, nothing about the campus police, at least in my experience, was all that much different than real police. They have cars that look like they're official police cars. They got uniforms that look like official police uniforms. So you would almost think that they are just an adjunct of the local police department, but they're not. They operate independently. They don't have to report anything to the police. They handle it internally. The first person they refer things to, unless it's a blatant, like, oh, I just found somebody stabbed in a dorm or something, it's to the campus authorities, not the police authorities. So I couldn't hold necessarily anybody to account for going to the campus cops thinking that they were actually reporting something to the police.
But you know what? It's not even usually that. They go report to a dean.
Yeah.
Or they go report to an administrator.
Well, isn't that what
we've to report to the campus cops, for fuck's sake?
Well, isn't that what we've been told since we were kids? It's like, if you see something wrong, go tell an adult, go tell a teacher, etc. Right? So if the nearest authority figure, and I mean, like I said, I'm being generous in this situation because, I mean, I lived on campus as well. We had situations, there was bad things that happened. If there's a legitimate problem, or someone thinks there's a legitimate problem, mistakes happen. I cannot blame anybody for going to the nearest authority figure. And if you live on campus, that's going to be the campus police or a school administrator. It's what happens after that. That is the big problem. You know, if they decide that, oh, this isn't worthy of going to the actual police, or I've just been told that someone's been sexually assaulted, we need to look into this first before we decide whether or not it's worth our PR risk.
Yeah, I'm just, the rules aren't far enough as far as I'm concerned with what DeVos is doing, but at least they are trying to bring in due process. To me, it doesn't belong in the college. If you're talking about sexual assault, that should not be in the college.
Yeah, the college should not have any jurisdiction over those things. They should be immediately referred to the local authorities and investigated by the police.
And look, if you want to kick somebody out because they were convicted of rape, fine, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but otherwise, this shit shouldn't be in the colleges. And what Obama did with Title IX was absolutely disgusting. And that's the kind of shit that should scare you.
Yeah,
that's not what Title IX was meant for. Title IX was meant to make sure that girls' sports got the same kind of funding boys' sports did.
Yep.
Real quick, thank you, formerly Rodline. I really can't afford to divert any money to you, so I took it from a blind, legless vet who I think had Parkinson's. Enjoy. Thanks.
Wow. Was he shaking when you tried to take it?
That's probably how he took it.
He was probably a veteran of the Cola Wars.
Oh God, Amy Siskind. Why do I read my Twitter during shows?
Because you have the attention span of a gnat.
No, I can multitask.
That's what you're calling it now?
Yeah.
Okay, you're both being hurtful.
You can take it. Your pain threshold is so high, dude.
I'm going to need to. Oh, well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Amy Siskind, she tweeted out, retail spending fell a historic 16.4% in April. No shit. You closed down all the fucking retail stores.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, except for Walmart's.
Yeah, I love how they're blaming the bad economy. It's like, this is Trump's fault. It's like, you guys, if he hadn't closed things down, you'd be saying he wants to kill people. And you already are saying he wants to kill people. So what, just... you know where the economy would be if we hadn't had the whole coronavirus thing? It'd still be steady on an upward trajectory.
She goes on to say this. Now remember, just retail spending fell. I just want to note that Bezos is approaching becoming a trillionaire. This pandemic is enriching him while he is ending hazard pay for workers next week. Please retain not using Amazon. Shop local if you can.
I think Bezos should just go full Lex Luthor. I really do. I think he should build a power suit and just like decide, I'm going to be the supervillain everybody thinks I am. What are they going to do? Why not?
The whole reason that everything's going down is because we have this pandemic. And I've seen her out there. She loves to talk about how many people have died. She thinks it's great because it's Trump's fault.
Yep.
She's telling people to go outside instead of using Amazon if you can. I'm sorry, what? And how close is it? I've seen several times people talking about him getting to be close to a trillionaire. I haven't seen what he's worth right now.
Well, what does that mean anyway? I mean, what's the difference does it make?
I don't know. Last I knew, he was at like 300 billion. So I mean, we have to like Cryptic. Thank you. Shop local where nothing is open. I know, and it's amazing. Retail spending is down.
Yeah.
When governors like mine tell you can't go buy garden seeds, and she actually came out, this fucking cunt. I never said you guys couldn't buy seeds. No, you just said the places that sell them have to be closed. So technically, she did not say you couldn't buy seeds. She just said you couldn't go to where they sell them.
Well, it depends on the definition of what is.
Oh man. Anyhow, I didn't mean to get off the college thing because I think that's an important thing. I think it's really important, the changes we've seen in the ACLU. I don't know if you remember it, Scribe, but we read a story about these assholes and how they're not going to be defending free speech like they used to.
Right.
The ACLU has always had some questionable things that they've done, particularly when it comes to things like writing and descriptions of kitty stuff. I don't want to get more into that. Mm-hmm. But they've always been pretty staunch free speech supporters, and now they're like, we're gonna go with the feeling crowd. And now you have this where they're literally talking about due process for the accused, and they're no, this is gonna hurt the due process of the victim.
You see
how?
Okay, well here's the flip side of it. In a way, just like with the most extreme views on like white supremacists. Okay, actual white supremacists. White supremacists should not have their speech curtailed. You need to have bad ideas put out into the ether, not only to prevent it from rotting underneath the surface, but also that they can be defeated out in the open as well. If the ACLU, in its current iteration, wants to go to the most woke interpretation of reality and challenge that in court up against the Constitution, due process, etc., and set precedent to reaffirm our rights, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I think if the most Looney Tunes people want to go to that extreme and actually take it to the courts and put it out in the public square and have it go through our process, fine. So in that sense, I don't care what the ACLU has to do. I may disagree with them, but in a way, I'm kind of glad that they're there actually taking all this rhetoric that we think is so fringe oftentimes, but isn't really that fringe, and actually putting it to the test of our jurisprudence. And I'm fine with that. I really am. Because, I mean, I would rather that happen than things happen behind closed doors where there is no precedent, there is no legal outlet for people. What?
In chat, Sinatra says, Scribe, it's rude to say my ideas are bad. Over on the Streamlabs of All Potato, thank you. I'm just playing Fallout 76 while listening, and I was hacking a terminal, and after removing all the duds, I was left with one word. Just sharing a cool thing that happened. That's cool, man. Hope you're having fun with the game. No, I agree with you on this, Scribe. I've been accused before because I am a staunch supporter of free speech. I think, and I've had actual conversations about, the Klan should be allowed to say what they want to say. Mm-hmm. And like, why are you defending the Klan? Like, I'm not. I'm defending their right to speak.
Yeah,
just exactly. As I would defend yours.
Yes.
If you said something really stupid. I don't agree with them, but they should be allowed to say it. And that's what the ACLU used to do.
Yep.
And they actually came out and said it, guys, that they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Well, how else are you supposed to know if somebody has stupid ideas? I mean, you create a mystique around a secret organization like that. And if you don't know what the dumb shit they're saying, you're not going to be like, well, those guys are idiots.
Well, here's the thing, Jack. If you don't hear what they say, you get to tell everybody what they said.
Right. And that doesn't foment more resentment, more animosity. That doesn't drive them further underground and turn into a secret society that's going to do something crazy in the future to try to get their voice across. Yeah.
Well, not just that, because you can look at the Klan and go, okay, they're racist shitheads. Nobody's going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody might go, well, they're not shitheads. Yes, they are. But you can see clearly their rhetoric is racist.
Yeah.
But when you use that same kind of thing to talk about anybody saying anything hateful, oh, he said something hateful. There's a difference between me making a joke and the Klan saying, what they say.
You know what caused the Klan to become the caricatures they are now?
Superman.
Talk shows. Them coming out on Donahue and Geraldo and all these things and actually saying what they believe. And everybody's like, yeah, okay, that's total and absolute comic nonsense. And then they became a joke. Putting it out in the open gives people the opportunity to assess for themselves the validity of what they have to say. So if you put bad ideas out there or you allow them to speak, just like everybody should have the opportunity to, most people can suss it out for themselves when having to confront it.
Oh, Drew W. haven't paid for the show today. kids can go hungry. Wow.
Whoa.
As long as they're
Jeez.
not your kids, that's cool.
Oh.
Look, ramen is cheap. What? Look, there's kids go hungry every day. It's not my fault.
Look,
For only 8 cents a day, monkey. Oh.
we need to protect people from bad ideas, and that means they have to stay in their homes until August and can't go to the beach or buy car seats or seeds.
Well, see, this is my problem with what we're talking about here. Because yes, you okay, let's say you make it so the Klan can't be heard.
Right.
Because they are racist shitheads. Yes, they're racist shitheads. But then it comes to the point where you just make an allegation. It's almost like the college thing. You make an allegation about somebody who said something bad and they get canceled. And then you get to tell everybody what they said, and who's going to find it? Who's going to prove they didn't? Yep. Who's going to prove that you're not actually a Nazi, Sin? You made those spicy jokes once, so we got to get rid of you too. Got to get rid of you too.
Oh no, humor's forbidden. Everything's taken literally now. Jokes are disallowed. Haven't you seen the new comedy?
M says, Monk, do you get any of the money off the ads that play during these? Yes, but every donation I get, literally every donation I get, is bigger than the money I make off any of these from ads.
I don't even monetize my video. I don't even bother. It's like I never really cared in the first place, so whatever.
Let's see. I did have one monetized the other day.
Really?
There's 3 up for review right now, but the after party where I did the live response to what they were doing with the Fauci hearing, that one got monetized. I don't know why, but it did, and But didn't you mention coronavirus in there somewhere? We may have mentioned. You can mention coronavirus according to their own rules. You can say it. You can talk about it.
So why do I see people getting like their channel struck or something for just talk? I mean, how do you know what is or is not a comment that quote unquote goes against the WHO?
Well, see, that's one of the questions that a lot of us have had. Which part of what the WHO has said are we allowed to talk about? Right.
And how do they know what said one way or the other anyway? They're not listening to everything.
Waiting for the libs to find my jokes. Oh boy. Yeah, right. You'd be in a lot of trouble, man. You'd have to dox yourself so you could prove you're Asian so they'd go, oh, okay, he can make those jokes. Did you talk about Susan wanting the D? You know what, Backscan? I don't know if I did on that one or not. I may have. I get distracted when I do those, so I don't know what the fuck I say.
She wants the dollars? Yes, she does.
She wants the monkey dick, Scribe.
Oh!
She does. When I talk about my dick and how she wants it, I tend to get monetized.
Sounded so racist.
That's near as prostitution you're going to get.
Hey, I told her I'd send her a picture if she'd just give me the good ad dollars.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to know if it's my dick. And not actually. I think I could talk Lady Monkey. All right, you can send her your dick.
In a jar.
If I get the like the Logan Paul money.
Oh God, man! I wish I was a Disney kid for just 5 minutes. I got to leverage that into such a career.
I know, right?
Yeah. All I'd have to do is like be a Disney kid on like 2 episodes of something, and then get a heroin addiction, and then clean myself up, and then I'd be a superstar.
But to your question, I'm not sure what it is that gets people kicked out. We've talked about Corona a ton. We've never been taken down for it.
No.
But I mean, you look at somebody like Matt Christensen, and his Beauty and the Beta podcast, that's gone down twice, at least that I know of.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. It's like, I mean, is it just, I presume it's because they have a larger audience that get more attention from both people that agree and people who are just virulently against them. And so they get flagged by people just out of like spite or something. Whereas the majority, if not the totality of our audiences, are just cool.
Oh, sorry. This is some stuff going on in chat. As far as I know, nobody's been blocked by mods. If you're saying stuff and it's not popping up, that is not the mods doing it, especially if you can still see it if it didn't actually come up in the main part. It's not us. It's them.
Yeah. We don't know the logic behind how Google decides or YouTube decides to filter or prevent messages.
Yeah.
Like I'll make this blanket guarantee to everybody. It's absolutely true. There is a control panel thing in my channel where I can say, if these words appear in my chat thing, do not display them or do not display those messages. That's blank. I've never touched that thing. Anything can go through as far as I'm concerned. It's YouTube deciding for me, the channel operator, the channel owner, so to speak, that I can't have the people in my audience say what they want to say. I mean, short of there being like spam with like ASCII images or some bullshit like that, nothing in my opinion should be filtered out of there, unless it's like criminal or something. So that's YouTube doing that, guys. It's not us. I mean, I don't even know if Monkey knows how to operate that part of the control panel.
Oh, I do. I don't use it. Mine's empty.
I was trying to give you an out.
No, I'm perfectly because like there are reasons to use it. Like Irate Bear, he has his docs information in there.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
That's not a bad thing to do in there.
Yeah, sure.
Mine is completely blank. And if you got bought by a mod, you would see a 300-second timeout. So if you are typing stuff into chat and it's not coming up, it's YouTube, nobody here. Throwing that out there. Mods here do not. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, you first.
No, I'm going to talk about something that was said earlier.
So. Mods here do not delete any person's comments. YouTube has a global blacklist of words. I can't say anything with fuck or monkey. Some people can say monkey. Some people can't. I don't know why.
It might be regional or country based or something too. They might say like certain rules apply if you live in England versus somewhere else. No,
Scribbles with my name. It's been so weird because some people can say it and then they can't, and then they can again.
Maybe people in the South can't say it.
What if it's? And I'm not kidding. What if it's like if I'm on a VPN that puts me in a different spot in the world, and then I try to say something? Maybe that has something to do with it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Again, like I said, I don't know. It's been.
I know, just a theory, a game theory.
Anyway, you were going to say, Jack.
Yeah. As to we were referencing Matt Christensen a minute ago. I have a theory as to why some of his streams get taken down. Because sometimes Blonde uses the word mundane, and she's talking to a guy named Matt, so she occasionally says his name. So there's something out there that combines those two words and flags it down. It's a mystery as to why, but I know it's an actual legend in the YouTube sphere.
Yeah, I don't know what's I stop it, but I don't know what the difference is with who's saying what, because some people claim they just said it and it's gone down. We've even made on this show, we've talked about conspiracy theories around it and never been struck once. So if they do have a listening device to figure out what you're saying, it's not listening to us. I have a feeling that it's more people who are in the audience who are like hate listening and they find that sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got to be someone doing taking active actions to do it. It's not. It can't be that you say a word on the stream and the algorithm picks it up and strikes you. It just, especially in the context of what does the WHO approve of? It just that's such an abstract. You can't algorithm that. So they've got people who are policing that or coming up with reasons to strike them down because Matt Christensen has a large audience and is well known. And they don't want to be trolling. That's it.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if there was something like the Heroes program where they have a group of volunteers from like Media Matters screening for like the whistleblower's name and all that other stuff. Or somebody says the magic words of being mundane.
I forgot totally about the whole whistleblower name thing that so got blown over by the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, somebody put it in chat a second ago and I was like, oh, not saying that.
Well, yeah, I know that Matt got hit for that, and that one might have been one that they were listening to specifically.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But I'd be willing to bet it's volunteers for like some third-party group that is associated loosely with YouTube, like Media Matters type groups. I'm not saying George Soros funded, but I'm not saying it either.
M says, hate listening, life is too short.
Right? Not if you don't have a life.
I sometimes listen to the Young Turks when they're live. It's not. It's when I say hate listening, it's not even necessarily. Look, there are some people who definitely need to go out there and get a fucking life. Sorry, Jack. Who do that? People who will go and follow the same person for years to downvote their video, no matter what they say.
Yeah, it's weird.
We've seen that with if you watch. Okay, guys, I'm not saying you do, but if you follow Mundane Matt, go to his channel. It has been literally years since all of that blew up, or more than a year. Like what, a year and a half now?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
and there are still people who go over there, and every one of his videos they downvote to the point where it has like a 30% rating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you have a problem. You might want to move on with your life. If that's what your thing is, that's what your thing is. But yeah, you have people who do that, and then you have people who, I hate this guy. I'm going to go listen to the crappy shit he says, and if he goes out of line, I'm going to get him. That happens. Yeah. P-Dog 9, thank you. This is a little late, but I just got to my computer. This thing with the ACLU, does this mean the ACLU will now be filing an amicus brief for Tara Reid? Ooh.
Oh.
That is a good question. I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
A couple of people have talked about, they've done a little hate listening. Yeah, it's fine to do a little bit of it. Just because people still ask me about Vegan Gains. Like, the last time I watched Vegan Gains was years ago, literally at this point. I mean, that debate itself was more than 2 years ago now. It might even be 3 years at this point. And I don't follow the vegans. I don't fuck with them. I had my time with them and it was over and I moved on with my life. Did I still watch for a little bit? Sure. Then I moved on. No, I don't think the ACLU is going to be saying anything in favor of Miss Reid. Scribe, did you watch Bill Maher's comments?
You mean his last new rule or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched it. I watched it along with Sinatra Says when he did his video on Bill Maher.
Okay. If I remember correctly from seeing it, he did the entire video because it's only like 4 minutes long.
Yeah. No, it's not a very long segment.
We're in the Biden case. You're actually able to come out and say, if you were sexually assaulted, shut your mouth, you dirty whore.
Yeah. More or less.
So, yeah, I definitely don't see the ACLU jumping on and being like, let's help her out.
No, the hypocrisy on this is just, I mean, I'd like to say it was stunning, but it really isn't because we've seen this. And on either side of the aisle, as soon as someone on our team does the bad thing, well, then it's not that bad, whatever it is. And just like with my own story, I mean, I have sympathy for Biden if he's being accused of something he didn't do. Same thing with Kavanaugh. I think that if there's going to be any kind of criminal or whatever else process on this, it needs to be done fairly with the assumption that innocent until proven guilty. But unfortunately, I have to set that entire thought aside because what's more glaring is the hypocrisy of the advocates for Me Too, et cetera, in this instance. It's like whether or not Biden actually did what he's accused of at this point is kind of less interesting to me than the people who are obviously contradicting themselves and falling over their own previous words, trying to make it seem like it's not a big deal or saying nothing at all. There's like there's some lady that's challenging Susan Collins up in Maine for her seat, and her entire campaign against Collins up to this point was I think it was the economy and her support of Kavanaugh, Susan Collins' support of Kavanaugh in the face of these accusations. And now she hasn't said a word about Biden, nothing, right? And so if anybody comes at her like, well, but she's such a coward. It's like you can't even come out and say, I made a mistake. Can you imagine if one of these guys came out and say, you know what? I was too zealous in my thing. We should support the idea of innocent until proven guilty, but listen to the accusations and give them serious consideration when they do come up. You could just say that. I mean, it wouldn't be unreasonable.
Kind of what they say. That's kind of what they've been saying, but without admitting they were wrong before.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you don't address.
John Miller, thank you. I prefer to use the guy. I prefer to use you guys as a filter for hate watching content that annoys me. At least you guys can make me laugh and not want to hurt something. Well, I'm glad we do. And Metal Murderer, how you doing, man? Thank you so much. Remember when we had to believe all women? Yeah, it was just like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. They've come out now, and it's like, no, we've always said, Joe Biden. I always said it needs to be investigated. You dirty prick. That's not what you were saying at the time. You were saying he needs to be investigated because obviously he did something wrong. Now you guys are literally saying she needs to be investigated.
Yeah, and this goes back to the whole like reluctance to admit fault. Okay. Now, obviously, if you admit you made a mistake in the political world and everything else, you might be dooming your career. I don't know. But as far as your own personal sense of integrity and credibility, just admit you made a mistake. Why is that so? I mean, the psychology of the reluctance to admit a mistake or to admit a fault or that you've been proceeding under a misapprehension. I understand it's difficult to have to like alter your whole worldview if you've been operating on something that's a falsehood this entire time. But when it comes to things like this, and there is no out, you might as well admit you made a mistake.
You know what I saw today? Mitch McConnell admitted that he was wrong when he said Obama didn't leave a plan for pandemics.
Okay.
He came out and he goes, no, I was wrong. There's nothing else to say. I was wrong. Yeah. And like, look at how dumb he is.
What? And that's it. You know, it's and that's the vilification of admitting fault. I mean, not only is there a psychological mechanism that kind of like your ego has to be protected from having to alter your perspective or admit to having proceeded under a misapprehension. There's also now the vilification of admitting you made a mistake. Like somehow that in and of itself is some kind of crime or some like that undermines your entire life. I made a mistake. I was wrong and I'll correct it. What more could you ask of somebody at that point? It's bizarro world to my sense of logic. But then I've gone through the same situations, at least in the abstract, that like Kavanaugh has and Biden is and everything else. And it doesn't matter whether you admit a fault or you try to push for the truth. If someone's made up their mind about you, you're done, especially if they're in a position where they can completely screw up your life.
Hang on. Can you guys talk for just a second?
Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Jack, say something. I've talked too much. Oh, is Jack not here anymore?
Sorry about that. No, he's muted.
Oh, okay. Well, hi. Hello, chat audience.
I'm back. I was just trying to see this that somebody had sent me.
I forgot I was muted.
You just deplatformed me, you jerk.
You'll be fine. Purple Pill Perspective, thank you. I got so much crap for saying before BS Biden. For saying evidence before BS Biden. Yeah, Biden, he's a fucking liar. Anyway, we're gonna share a Biden moment, you guys. I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but see if you catch it.
This first question, Mr. Vice President, is from a voter in California. Let's listen to this.
Okay.
Hi, Vice President Biden. My name is Naveed.
Hi.
I am from San Mateo, California. Thank you so much for allowing me to participate in this town hall with you. I'm right now thinking about that.
This first question.
Did you guys catch what happened?
Yeah, he doesn't understand these are pre-recorded.
Yes.
I don't think he understands he's on the internet.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, if he's trying to sort of like, okay, I can extend the benefit of the doubt that he's expressing to the person who might be listening his appreciation, even if they can't hear him. I guess maybe I could be that generous, but it is kind of goofy.
This is so sad. Stop wheeling this poor dementia patient out in front of the world and having everyone mock him. It's cruel.
Well, he's not out in front of the world. That's we were talking about this last night. Like a short. What is a short campaign as far as the electorate's attention benefit? Does it benefit Trump or does it benefit Biden? As long as Biden remains in a very controlled environment as far as his public appearances and everything else, the world doesn't have to see just how unstable and brainless he is. And they can just sort of think back to what little they know about him from Obama days. And that's actually benefiting. As long as Trump's out there saying his stuff, being vilified left, right, and center, and also saying stupid things, Biden's in a good position. Like I say, I don't know necessarily it'll make him win the election, but it's better for him overall that he's actually locked down.
Yeah, I guess. This went from being like hiding FDR's crippled legs to Weekend at Bernie's to me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is like FDR's legs were the things that were crippled, not his brain.
Ex-Bobo Hotep, thank you. Is he a liar or does he not know where he is? I don't think he knows where he is. I think, look, people, especially if he's in the early stages, as we think, as we guess, he's still going to have moments where he remembers everything.
Yeah. It's the whole sundowners thing, lucidity periods, everything else. But really, and what I'm waiting to see, because every time we've seen him prior to the pandemic really go completely off the ranch, it was under the circumstances of being confronted and him getting angry and his emotions getting high that he went bug nuts. Now, so far, this is him at his most controlled, where he doesn't have to be confronted by anybody. All the press are being very deferential. Even then, he's slipping here and there. So the real test is going to be if we see him and Trump on a stage together, and Trump is being Trump. Is Joe going to be able to control himself? And
no. I don't think you're going to see him on a stage. I think they're going to insist for Corona reasons that it's over video.
I don't know that they can avoid that, even if they have to separate them by 20 feet or something. You know, I don't think they can avoid that and not have a showdown, a confrontation. That's what people need to see and want to see. So I don't know if they're going to be able to avoid a live thing, even if they put like a plastic wall, whatever. They have to be on the stage together. They have to be confronting each other in real time. Because you try to do over a video conference, there's going to be lag and delay, and the sound's not going to be right, and there's going to be accusations of manipulation of the signal and everything. It's got to be live.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Staying Anonymous, who says, my life was ruined by a false accusation, ex-girlfriend. I was trying to move out. No evidence, just a victim impact statement and 2 male, quote, witnesses of character. She was fucking both. 15 years of hell, but because of this, one day I will tell the whole story, but not today. Sorry that happened to you, man.
That is the worst possible thing. This is why whenever even somebody that I don't like, if I find out that they're accused of something they didn't do, I have nothing but sympathy for them in that instance, you know.
And that's why I keep telling you guys, I do not believe Tara Reade's most salacious statements.
Right.
Metal Murderer, thank you so much. Stop elder abuse, #free Joe. Indeed. No, I don't believe what Tara Reade said. Somebody earlier mentioned that they saw the video the interview she did with Megyn Kelly, and that there were a couple of sketchy moments in there. I think her story itself is sketchy. I, again, have no problem believing Joe commented on her legs or that Joe touched her neck or her hair, because we've seen that.
Yeah.
Her story doesn't make sense to me, especially the part about how she only told half of it at the beginning, because after she told it, she got called a Russian bot. That makes no sense.
Right.
0 sense why you would stop in the middle of that to let them call you a Russian bot before you told the rest. So, I don't believe her most salacious statements, but the hypocrisy is what I am commenting on. And, as to what we were asked last night about who does it help, the shortened presidential thing, we don't even know that it's going to be shortened. It's only shortened in this sense because usually once you have the presumptive nominee, a kind of campaign kicks off between the two majors.
Yeah.
But it doesn't officially start until after the conventions.
Right. Yeah, the conventions.
Either way, Joe is shuffling for president. Damn it, dangerous. Either way, Joe's the one that's helped by this because the public isn't seeing him. They're not seeing what's going on with this man, and he's having so many less chances for, I'm using air quotes here, gaffes.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I have an idea. We let Joe retire to a place that has a replica of the Oval Office, When he walks in, there'll be like some mannequins with long wigs on them, so you can sniff them all day long. And occasionally, there'll be like a train track that brings out people that are mannequins that look like the press, and little flashes will go off. So he thinks he's getting his picture taken, and then we could just let him go on like that forever.
So a presidential gerbil wheel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then he can be content with his, wife, sister, or whatever, and just live out the rest of his days happy, thinking he's president.
Band account says if they do debates over video, you can bet your ass they'll have technical difficulties the second Trump starts winning.
Yeah,
completely different thing. James Clapper was on with I forget who it was. I want to say it was CNN, but don't quote me on that. Clapper is at the center of this Flynn thing right now because we know for a fact this motherfucker lied.
Yes.
He lied under oath to Congress. There's no question about that. From his own words, he lied. He was being asked whether or not the information, asking for it's not illegal, right? No. But sharing that information, if you had it, would be wrong, right? That would be illegal. And the video just goes out. Like, maybe we'll do our best to try to get him back.
You're kidding.
No. It was outstandingly poorly. It was so obvious they staged that.
Yeah, and like I said in the chat, if they do a televised or a teleconference debate, both campaigns are gonna require absolute control over their side of the broadcast and everything else. This is why it has to be live.
Here,
it has to be live. It has to be out there. It can't be. Okay.
Here we go, guys.
So asking for names. Nothing wrong with that. Unmasking in of itself, nothing wrong with that. Leaking classified information, and by definition, these phone calls were classified. That's a problem, correct?
Absolutely, it is.
And if anyone did leak,
and it's frozen right there,
of these conversations with or without the name, that would be a problem. Yes. We've lost the shot.
Shit. Man, they don't want us talking conspiracy theories, but it is so difficult not to when shit like that happens. It's like, come on.
Especially because CNN has pulled this crap before where they cut people's mics, they cut their feeds. They've done it dozens of times when somebody says something they don't like. Of course they're going to do it to cover for people they do like.
Yeah, Clapper's one of their contributors since he left the Obama White House.
Well, I have to wonder, is it CNN? Is it Clapper's entourage or the people involved in there, or is it a combination of the two? If they actually didn't want that out there, would they have let him have the interview in the first place? In case he said something that did get on air. I mean, it is. So if it is a conspiracy theory, it's something on Clapper's end or his guards or something that did it.
Oh, I think it was absolutely somebody on his end that did it.
Yeah.
I just hate CNN too.
Well, that's
I don't trust them.
No.
Dangerous says Clapper lied. There's no question about that. The media might disagree with you. They'd be wrong. He flat out said he didn't know about the unmasking, and he had personally 3 times within 2 weeks asked for unmasking that was Flynn.
Yep.
I don't know nothing about that though. You lying motherfucker. I saw a thing that they're trying to make a big deal out of this very routine thing. Thousands of these requests come in every day. Okay. All right. How about this? At this point, we'd already started with the Russia bullshit and the Russian collusion. And so you have this call between a Russian ambassador and some American. And suddenly a whole bunch of people within the Obama White House asked specifically for this unmasking. How normal is it for these specific people to have asked for that same kind of information over the same time period? Now, I know that, one, they're not going to be able to do that because we don't have, for some reason, we don't have a public list of when they're asking for unmaskings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that should be some, I mean, we can't tell what's going on, but why can't you tell us? Who's doing all this unmasking request? But you had the head of the DNI, the head of the CIA for some fucking reason, the head of the FBI, ambassadors, the vice fucking president, all of them requested the information within a 2-week, 3-week time period.
I gotta. So do we don't know the chronology of these requests, like which came first?
No, we know the chronology. The dates that they were done are on the report.
I'm wondering, did the level of administrative control rise with each subsequent thing? Like it went from Clapper to this guy, and finally like Biden's at the top. Like it kept escalating. Is that how it went?
Well, the only dates that I remember right off, Scribbles, is that
I might be rhetorical. That's fine.
January 5th, the president's chief of staff requested it.
Okay, that's pretty high.
And on January 12th, the vice president requested it.
Okay, so there was a little bit of a escalation process going on there. Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm Clapper flat out lied. Yeah. And it would make sense with that question for them to pull the plug at that point, knowing probably more the question that was asked next would be coming.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyhow, their subtlety leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, it can't be. This is the problem: is that they can't be subtle about it because everything's on the record. Just like with the people who are now giving Biden a pass. They can't avoid the fact that they're on camera, on Twitter, in print, saying the exact opposite sentiment about Kavanaugh. Just like with these guys, it's like, well, unfortunately, the paper trail didn't show that Trump colluded with Russia, but it shows that you guys colluded with yourselves and are lying and being employed as liars. I mean, you're getting paid by CNN, and your entire credibility is undercut by everything. And so now it's like, does anything you say for CNN? Is there any liability for CNN if they employed somebody who is a known liar?
No, it just shows that their hiring practices are pretty lazy as well. But you hire your friends in this industry, apparently.
Well, remember, these are the people who thought Michael Avenatti would make a great president.
Oh, man. Those montages of Michael Avenatti clips are still so hilarious.
Oh, I love them. I love them.
Hilarious.
I hated that shithead. He blocked me on Twitter, little fucker. I may have been saying horrible things to him.
Yeah, I didn't understand at the time. I was like, so you hate a former game show host, real estate tycoon, pop culture figure, and you're propping up a porn star lawyer as a presidential candidate. I don't know. You talk about the standards of presidential candidates, and yet this is the guy.
Oh man, guys, we are at the 2-hour mark, so we are going to wrap up because Monkey needs to go find something. You know what I've eaten today? Two craft singles.
Okay, so they need to be married first.
No, they're married in my tummy right now. But I need real food. I need a little more sustenance. I might go have some ramen. I haven't had ramen in
They're in the honeymoon suite.
Been weeks since I've had ramen. # Monkey needs ramen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us on this early morning edition of Monkey in the Morning. Or is this a late morning edition, Jack?
Mid-afternoon edition.
Mid-afternoon edition. Morning? I don't know what time it is. I'm so fucking confused.
Everybody's in different time zones, so we're morning somewhere.
The sun is out. It's bothering me.
Because you're a vampire.
Well, no, I don't mind the sun most of the time, but when we do this show, usually it is really dark in my room. It's all lit up. It's bothering me. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so very much for the donations, guys. You were very, very kind. Jack, anything you'd like to show, my friend?
I'll throw a link to my latest video, and thank you for the donations, everyone. You guys are awesome. And if you're not subscribed to Scribe, why not?
Stribbles, anything you want to throw out there?
I'm sorry, who are you talking to?
You.
What did you say again?
Stribbles.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah,
I'm not going to let that die.
Yeah, no, I didn't figure you would. Tonight on my channel at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, will be Lords of the Night with me, Satsu 2 Cents, and your lovable monkey. Other than that, there's a great little TEDx that I did with Blind Press yesterday that's getting a lot of attention by people. I really appreciate everybody's feedback on that. A lot of stories, personal stories from people responding to the speaker on that TEDx, which are very interesting. So go check that out. And yeah, I might be doing another TEDx tomorrow if I find a good one. I found a couple of really interesting ones, but then I listened to them for like 5 seconds to check on the audio quality. And it sounds like something that's recorded by a 3-year-old with a Fisher-Price recorder across the room. And it's like,
so like a late night talk show host.
Oh, it's so bad. I mean, I'm like, oh boy, this ought to be interesting. And it's like, oh no. Yeah, that's what.
Nut says she loves this time for the show. I would love to actually be able to do this at like 8 o'clock every day. But again, this show is just set up for random whenever Monkey wanted to talk kind of thing, and that's a wide berth. Wide berth. That sounds like a fat chick pushing out a kid.
Yeah.
Or a skinny chick pushing out a fat kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a fat chick, she'd be Wide Bertha, I would think.
No.
Wide Bertha has a baby. Oh, that sounds like a good kid's book.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wide Bertha's baby.
It smells like corn.
This week on I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant.
Oh my god. Fuck. Guys, don't forget our friend P Dog Night, his show 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here in a couple of minutes, over on his channel, P Dog Live, the morning night live. Guys, go check that out. As Scribe said, we'll be on his channel tonight, and then after that, this is Friday, right?
Yes.
Over on 2 Cents Plus, some more Fallout 76. Come hang out, you guys. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Jack, Scribbles, pleasure as always, gentlemen. Everybody, have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wide Bertha has a small